So last time we covered some of the add-ons that I use. I'll link those in the description. Also started getting our trade skills set up. We're going to finish with the trade skills and start making our way to the Stone Talon Mountains. So first we're going to pick up fishing and a fishing pole.
Strength and honor. What are you looking for?
Since the last couple of expansions we don't actually need the fishing pole, but I prefer to have them anyway. Now to pick up archaeology. Personally, I just want to say I'm incredibly disappointed in 835 expansion, the whole Nyalotha thing. This is just, in my opinion, showing the desperation and greed of Activision to make a profit at any and all costs. They're damaging the player base, they're damaging the game, they're damaging their workforce. Honestly, I've played World of Warcraft since Vanilla and EverQuest before that, and at this point I'm literally, my goals have become to level my alts to 120, get them decent gear, level their trade skills to max, complete the class order hall mounts, collect mounts, transmog, and upgrade heirlooms, and literally that is my entire goal set for World of Warcraft. I have 7 goals. Period. So, anyway. Alright. Finally, we can move on once we have architecture. Yes, we can use the flight path from Orgrimmar to Ashenvale to get the quest line moved on, but I prefer to ride. We can pick up some flight points on the way. Archaeology should be right around the main building here. I thought it was on the outside, but turns out I was wrong. It's inside, next to Sylvanas, so we're going to go in there and get that set up. Right now my main is a prop paladin on Alliance side, and the Nyalotha content is
glory to the Sindori.
Way too rushed. You feel like this should have been its own expansion, but instead of that, it ended up being a footnote.
The reckoning is at hand.
At the end of this expansion, and the rip-offs, I mean, they literally ripped off the end of Lord of the Rings. Literally. I mean, if you play it side by side, it's almost identical, and it's just disheartening to see them stoop so low because of, you know, time and budget constraints that were forced on them by a corporation that just wants money. Okay, so now we've got all of our trade skills, we've got most of our macros set up. I'm going to create another one here. Kind of forgot that stealth has a separate action bar. So we're kind of going to set that up. Even though we have approximately 10 abilities across the top action bar, using macros, we can shorten that list to about 6 using modifier keys such as Alt, Shift, and Control. I will go into more detail on how to create macros in a future video, probably sometime next month. Still not quite sure if I like subtlety, so we'll keep seeing what's going, you know, how it goes and how it plays. It's important to test out your setup and you know, feel comfortable with the playstyle. If you're not comfortable with the playstyle, if the class just isn't working for you, you're going to get bored and you're going to ditch it real quick. So it's really important to find a class that you enjoy playing and that you can continue to play, especially with an MMO this big. So let's move on our way out of Orgrimmar and start heading out into the wide world of Warcraft. So there's a bit of a dead end in that direction, so we're going to have to go south, skirt the mountains a little bit, and then head up to Ashenvale. Now, I don't like moving through Ashenvale, so we will skip that here at the border, but as of right now, this is the direction that we're going to take. I may change my mind a little bit later, so don't get too upset. Let's try out our abilities here real quick and see how this plays out. Sap this guy. Can't pickpocket him since he's not a humanoid. Excuse me. This just is not... Okay. Okay, so we did fairly well. Nothing too crazily out of the ordinary. I did notice that the level of this line is literally my level. So the level scaling that Blizzard implemented last expansion, I mean, we could have started at the starting zones instead of going all the way to Stone Talon, but this is the way that Blizzard has decided to design their game, and so we will follow that decision tree and see how well it works for us. Again, like I said, forgot that the stealth has its own action bar, so we're going to go ahead and redo this here real quick. Also notice the target and player indicators are still at the top left. I usually put them down closer to where my character is. I like being able to see everything right in front of me as easily as possible, considering leveling and, you know, really getting good at a game really is about just being as efficient as possible. So, okay, what do we got here? I think that should... do it. Okay. I think we've got our character set up here for the most part. Most of our abilities look good. All of our placement looks okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move the targeting frames here in a little bit, but everything seems to be lining up. Starting next week, I'm going to be including a end card at the end of my videos to make them look a little bit more professional. Put up our branding and subscription buttons. So remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and always helps the channel if you leave a thumbs up. So let's keep trying this out a little bit. A little practice makes perfect here. Back up here. Okay, stealth, and okay, let's try this again. Sap. And there we go with the strike. Not too bad. Still not what I like, but again, I'm trying to get used to subtlety before I really make a huge change. And so here we're gonna move these targets so that they're closer down to our character. We can see what's going on without being interrupted, having to look all over the screen on what to do next, statuses and the like. Okay. Still kind of getting used to this. Do some skinning along the way. Let's mount up and move on. We're going to move up through here. We're going to pick up this upcoming flight point. And then we're going to move on. We're just going to ignore the quests at this location.
What's up?
Okay, looks like there's some mobs around here. A little hostility. See if we can't avoid some of these. Now, truthfully, we could just stealth our way through and not encounter any enemies that we don't necessarily want to fight, but again, we're just trying to get used to subtlety. I tend to play assassination rogues, so I prefer their playstyle, and it just fits my idea of what the rogue should be. And it's not to say that anything with you know, the outlaw class, you know, subclass is bad or flawed or anything. It's currently top DPS, but I just prefer assassination. Okay, that was a little smoother. And let's head over in this direction a little bit.
Too far away. I do not have a target.
Let's pickpocket this guy. This way that rogues can make a little bit of additional money. Okay, not too bad. Let's move on closer to our destination, which is at the border of Ashenvale. Kind of forgot what day it was. Dealing with a lot of issues and items right now in my life, and so video's a day late, but now that I've got my schedule sorted out, things hopefully should progress a little bit better from here on out. So flight point and the next outpost is right up here off to our left. So I'll be cutting the video here in just a minute. See you next time.